Hello, my name is Melody TenHagen, and I'll be presenting a review of the Newman Systems model developed by Betty Newman. Let us begin by discovering who is Betty Newman. Betty received her RN diploma in 1947. 10 years later, she obtained her BSN with dual majors in both mental and public health. In 1966, she received her master's in nursing from UCLA. From 1967 to 1973, during the time of the development of Newman systems theory, she was working as faculty at UCLA and developed the first community mental health program for graduate students in the LA area. Today, Betty Newman is retired. She occasionally does work in the capacity of a consultant for educational purposes. During the 1970s, when Betty Newman was teaching a graduate course in community mental health, she began asking herself the questions of how nurses organize their knowledge to provide care and how clients interact with stress. Newman Systems Model was originally developed as a graduate course guide. It maintains that the client is an open system. In her work, she consistently referred to the patient as the client with the intent of providing a sense of autonomy to the patient. The open client systems is an open environment but maintains stability and integrity through elaborate circles of protection and defenses. Newman Systems Model has maintained relevancy through numerous revisions. In the 1985 revision, spirituality was recognized as a variable that can affect the client's stability or reinforce wellness. The 2002 model revision was recognized for including applications for clinical guidelines. I chose Betty Newman because of the respect she has given the human experience in her work. The importance she has placed on the relationship between stressors or variables in our lives and their impact on our wellness or health is the heart of this theory. Her theory is holistically focused. It offers significance to the combined influences in the client's lives. Her theory does give the patient some level of accountability in their overall health by identifying the inner resources that are used to combat stressors and places the client at the center of the open system. Newman Systems Model can be adapted to fit any model of care. It works well within current practice and can be paired easily with other nursing theories. The basic assumptions of Newman Systems Model is that each client is a unique representation of their environment. At the center of the Newman Systems Model is the client or open client system, which is referred to as the central core, shown on the slide in orange. In the model, the client is recognized as a whole system, including the individual, family, community, or a social issue. The variables recognized are the phenomena and stressors that can affect the stability of the central core. The client system itself has several mechanisms for defense that are employed in maintaining stability, including a normal temperature range, genetics, patterns of response, organ integrity, commonalities, and ego. Each client has normal response to stressors. In this model, each client possesses lines of defense, described as a defense matrix. If stressors break through every line of defense, then health consequences are immediate and negative. Prevention must be obtained through the nurse's knowledge of the patient, and nursing interventions treat the patient's responses to the stressors. Adjustments must be made to improve defenses and maintain wellness. Examining the framework of the Newman Systems Model, the central core is seen to be surrounded by a series of concentric circles representing the defense matrix. The clients and the stressors are defined as energy sources which clash, causing instability or illness in the central core. The need of the client is to maintain or bring back stability. The nursing goal is wellness-based and is to prevent instability. Resources have used the words harmony, stability, balance, wellness, and health to define the nursing goal in the Newman Systems model. When a stressor attacks, it reaches the flexible line of defense first. The line is represented by a broken line to signify that it is flexible. It is considered flexible because it is a buffer to the client's normal line of defense. The next element to be attacked is the client's normal line of defense, which is vital in protecting the basic structures and integrity of the system. The normal line of defense is depicted with a solid line and symbolizes the client's health baseline. If a stressor can offset the stability of the normal line of defense, the next set of barriers are the lines of resistance. In the diagram, the lines of resistance are a series of 3 broken lines that are the protective components of the physical and mental health. The lines of resistance are the concentric circles closest to the client. In a stable system, as depicted in the diagram, stability is when the defense matrix and the central core are in balance. There are 5 variables that can act upon a client's system: physiologic, the physical body and its function; psychological, mental health and responses to stressors; sociocultural, which are the combined influences of social and cultural surroundings; developmental, milestone development based on age; and spiritual variables. Stressors or variables which can affect the stability of the central core can have either a positive or negative impact on the client system. According to Melise, client systems and environments relate reciprocally, and the outcome of the relationship is corrective or regulative for the client system. 3 types of stressors exist: intrapersonal, meaning within oneself; interpersonal, meaning between persons; and extrapersonal, which is the blended and created environment of both inter and intrapersonal stressors. The nursing goal in using the Newman Systems model would be to either maintain stability or bring the client system back to stability or baseline. According to Melise, reconstitution is the process of bringing back a balanced outcome. It is during this process that nursing interventions are used to improve wellness. Interventions can be primary, secondary, or tertiary. Primary nursing interventions occur at the flexible line of defense, which is the furthest from the client in the defense matrix. They are wellness or prevention-based interventions. Secondary nursing interventions occur at the normal line of defense, which is also considered to be the client's health baseline. As long as the normal line of defense maintains stability, wellness is maintained. Tertiary nursing interventions occur at the lines of resistance. They occur during the reconstitution phase as balance is beginning to restore. Now that the fundamental framework has been identified, let us critique the positive and negative characteristics of the model. Newman Systems theory is a complex concept that must be visualized in order to be fully comprehended. Although each definition is easily understood in its singular form, the number of individual concepts that make up Newman Systems model are difficult to understand in relation to each other. The model is not easily generalized for comprehension due to the complexity of the individual overlying concepts. I do believe that Newman Systems model would benefit from further development. The current definition of a client in the model can refer to the individual, the family, the community, or a social issue. There is no further development on the concept of the client extending beyond the person in the model. It makes me question what would the role of the nurse be in the community, or how would I affect a social issue? Also, could a nurse make a goal or intervention reasonable and attainable for a community or a larger issue? With these questions left unanswered, I think Newman Systems model could be further refined. However complex the theory, the benefits gained by using the model render the negative impacts inconsequential. Revisions have allowed the model to maintain relevancy during a changing nursing paradigm. The contributions and positive impacts to healthcare generated by the Newman Systems model are as follows. The Newman Systems model can be used by every nurse, administrative, educational, and practical. The universal adaptability of the theory to all nursing disciplines allow it to be used today and tomorrow to provoke positive patient outcomes that are holistically focused. It advances nursing definitions of health and wellness and provides framework for the expansion of other theories. The broad scope of the model allows for it to be adapted to improve health and wellness in any demographic and apply to all ages of clients. Primary prevention and health promotion decreases healthcare costs. Newman Systems model encourages the holistic viewpoint in nursing education, thereby setting the groundwork and training in for holistically focused nurses. And lastly, Newman System model allows nurses to understand the disturbance caused by our nursing processes to the patient's well-being and plan interventions to counteract the negative impacts. Newman Systems model has been used widely in research, education, and clinical practice. One study assessed the utility of the Newman Systems model in an HIV outpatient clinic of a large hospital in Western Canada. The conclusion of the study was that Newman Systems model took the focus off the disease and placed it on the human experience. The report stated, Newman Systems model has the capability of embracing emerging concepts in healthcare. A 2010 study on perceived stress in early adolescents used Newman Systems model in primary interventions to outline guidelines that can be implemented by school-based nurses and staff to educate adolescents on the stressors that come with maturation and coping defenses for those stressors. Another study used Newman Systems model to predict episodes of nausea and vomiting in chemotherapy patients. Many colleges and universities are using the Newman Systems model to guide their baccalaureate nursing program. Research has shown that integrating the Newman Systems model into the studies of nursing programs, the students have seen improvements in scores on papers and on care plans. It offers insight into the fundamental knowledge and didactic prerequisites necessary in order to participate in effective nursing practices. Since nursing is ever-changing with evidence-based practice, a theory that can be adapted and promotes creativity holds value within the nursing profession. Newman herself urges nurses to apply innovation when using the model in order to maintain relevancy. It is this changeability that allows Newman Systems model to be used to direct practice guidelines. The use of Newman Systems model contributes to best practices because it permits nurses to collect data for research studies that will add to nursing knowledge and provide for evidence-based outcomes. In conclusion, Newman Systems model is a complex theory that has been reviewed over time to meet the standards of today's nursing paradigm. It has defined nursing discipline, goals, interventions, and variables that provide barriers to care. The adaptability and portability of the Newman Systems model advances outcome potential of nursing interventions. The identification and recognition of the human experience has inspired unity. And the use of the Newman Systems model provides balance to the entire client system, the individual, the family, the community, and their environment. Thank you for your time and attention. Good day.